And welcome back to part 6, folks. Let's go on further and rescue Jim Gordon finally. Hopefully the gas was the reason that we were seeing premonitions of his death.
Crane's gas must have
And not the reality.
Are you lost, little bat? Having trouble figuring out what's real and what's just a figment of your twisted little mind? Same here. Just roll with it, Bats. It gets easier once you get in. It really does.
Alright, so during that little taunting session by the Joker, you can actually progress. You're supposed to get surprised, I guess, by the door opening. But because of the arrows that the Joker has set, leading us on a straight path, it wasn't that surprising to say the least. Anyhow though, yeah, pretty convenient that all we have to do is follow a straight path. Nothing to do up there as of just now, just more Joker teeth hunting. I think the worst feeling in this game, like right here, I can clearly hear the Joker teeth sound being made. And it's not kind of quaint or in the distance, it's right below your feet, but sometimes you can still miss those.
Take a look. Harley's under strict instructions to kill the old man if any of my guys even think you're in the room. They're patrolling down there. I've told them all you're on the way. So here's the deal. If you can find a way to get to Harley without anyone realizing, I'll give you your next present.
So, as the Joker is explaining, this is one of our first, I suppose, Predator Dark Knight challenges. I'm not sure what the actual medal reward is called for not getting detected in a Predator section. Oh, I actually remembered, it's called Silent Night. And yes, as Joker said, the commissioner's being held hostage in that little office area. If any of the henchmen even spot you for a second, you'll immediately fail the stage, because Commissioner Gordon will be shot. So, yes. Also, we have the secrets map for this area, and as well as a little riddle to unlock the character bio of Bane, Batman's one of the most iconic villains of the series. Anyhow though, thankfully, we have quite a large vent system around this area to make life a lot easier. I also really like the added effect of certain bricks missing from the walls, so you can, you know, really take in the room and already spot the enemies without detective mode. There's 4 enemies in total in this room, and they're fairly easy to take down because this is the Silent Night challenge, as I just mentioned. There's not too many of those throughout the game. I'm guessing it's because they wouldn't want to make the game, I guess, too frustrating to play at certain parts. But right off the bat, there's 2 guards turned conveniently the other way. And yeah, it's very easy to use a silent takedown. The reason I'm not going for the first one immediately is because I can see the other Black 8 henchman in the background walking with its viewpoint directly opposed to the one we're supposed to take down now. So I wait a little bit, you know, make sure not to get spotted, and then move on. There's also a couple more riddles and trophies in this room. I believe that this room is called the experimentation chamber, and once we're done taking care of these armed henchmen, you'll quickly see why it's called that. I think there's a familiar face you guys might recognize from the Batman saga in this very room. Anyhow though, there's really no point in getting high ground in this room, if you even can, to be honest. But yeah, no gargoyles to mount, no explosive gel walls to explode, just a good old classic sneak around while crouched and choke the enemies out. Sadly, we can't enter that office area because if you've noticed, there's an interview tape on the well, almost said on the floor, on the desk facing the wall we just had.
You'll be caught, Quinn. Caught.
Again, we can't do anything about that just yet, so sadly we'll have to make a return to this place. Anyhow though, I turned around a few times just to check out if I've missed anything, but it's quite a small area when everything is said and done, and everything is pretty much handed to you in this room, so all you have to do is get on this very breakable ceiling and take Harley Quinn down.
You took longer than I thought.
He's out of control. He's trying to prove something. I'm not sure I can stop him this time.
You'll do it. Batman, listen. We're not alone. He's got something else down there. I don't know what it is.
What a blabbermouth! Spoiling the surprise.
Be quiet.
Oh, am I getting to you? Am I? Good. You're going to love this next bit.
It wants Dr. Young's login.
Never mind that. Get behind me, now. Bane.
I thought he broke out of Blackgate.
Cut me down.
Who did this to you?
Dr. Young, the Bruja. She drained the venom from my blood. Must stop her.
Sorry, Has-Bane. The good doctor won't be a problem much longer. How do you like my puppet? What say we cut him down?
Gordon, run!
I like how Batman said, "Gordon, run!" and next shot immediately has Gordon still standing behind Batman, not running away. Anyhow though, this is, I suppose, our real first boss fight. Along with all the Joker's little quips like Has-Bane, that are amazing. But it's very similar to the Project fighting we fought, I believe in part 2. The mechanics are similar because Bane was pretty much the original Titan in the Batman series. He'll telegraph when he wants to charge at you quite fairly, and you throw a quick batarang and you dodge. Same thing when he rips out a portion of the wall and charges at you. But again, this time the fight isn't time-based like in the tutorial. So he actually has a health bar showing, and whenever you drain a third or one portion of his health bar, you're supposed to go in close quarters, and which will trigger this animation of mounting his back and cutting off a supply of venom from his body. Do that a couple of times and you're smooth sailing. That said though, each time you complete a portion of his health bar, more and more Blackgate prisoners will enter the arena, making this fight very hard. Especially if you're playing on hard mode, which I mentioned quite a lot. You can imagine how difficult this fight is when you don't have the indicators to counter the enemies, while at the same time paying attention to the boss, of course, and whether or not you have to dodge in a specific section. And sometimes that's hard to do, like right here I had to break my combo in order to dodge. But thankfully though, all these Titan enemies, or Bane for that matter, they do interact positively in your case with the little henchmen. They will knock them down while doing their ground stomp, their rock throw, or their charge.
okay?
I'm fine, Jim. Where's Quinn?
Gone. Must have gotten loose while Bane was throwing you around.
We need to get you off the island.
I'm not a rookie. I can handle myself.
I will break you, Batman! Then the Bruja!
No, Bane. This time I break you.
Jim, get back to the mainland. It's too dangerous here.
I don't like leaving you here.
Radio claims he's planted bombs all over Gotham. Gotham will panic. You're needed there.
We're ready to go now, sir.
Bane called Dr. Young Bruja. What does it mean?
It's Spanish for witch.
Alright, so thankfully Bane hasn't gone for his signature spine buster anytime during this interaction, or the game would have just ended. But yes, I do believe that this is the universe where that has occurred in the past. Hence, Batman's little mention of "this time I break you." Or I mean, it could have just been a response to him saying, "I'll break you," and then Dr. Young. Anyhow though, I'm not sure if you've noticed during this cutscene, but our suit got even more scraped up. I mean, obviously, Batman was holding on to his left arm almost as if it was broken. But also, if you notice in the cutscenes, there's a huge gash over Batman's left eye now. And we can tell that progressively through the night we're just in worse and worse shape. But that quite simple boss fight in the end has netted us another level up. And here I go through all the possible options we have yet to upgrade. And I think I'll go for the twin batarang this time. Just because how sometimes useful it is to knock out not only one but now two enemies at the same time if they're not directly staring at you. Alright though, as you heard from our conversation with Oracle, we have to go to the Batcave. So believe it or not, we actually do have a Batcave on Arkham Island. It's not just in Gotham City. And thankfully I did climb this guard tower, or otherwise I definitely would have missed those, or that pair of the Joker teeth. Outside the visitor center that's still being built by Joker's henchmen, there's more regular enemies. One of them has a pipe, but it doesn't really challenge you. Now that we've seen more and more of those enemies that hold knives, these lead pipe opponents are quite easy. And also managed to string together a pretty cool combo with both the combo takedown and the throw mechanic. And I don't know, I think it makes you feel really accomplished when really you're just feeling like you're improving in this rhythm-based combat system. We could go inside the visitor center right now. Realistically, it's just a really cool Easter egg center. It's in first-person mode, and you get little monologues from the Joker progressively. But we'll see it soon enough. You'll see.
Yeah, I know. I once saved an unfortunate inmate from leaping off into the rocks below. I found a cave entrance, and over the years have moved a number of supplies here. It's a regular home away from home.
Alright, so as Batman says, we have to go to Dead Man's Point, the famous suicide location on Arkham Island. Why not brighten the atmosphere a little more, will ya guys? Jesus Christ. But yeah, apparently Bruce Wayne has decided to build a remote Batcave over there as well. Unsurprisingly though, as you'll see in just a few seconds, it looks like just the regular Batcave. He didn't go furniture shopping in any new stores, it seems like. But while fighting more of these knife-attacked or knife-wielding enemies, I would recommend that you actually use your combo takedowns on those, as well as the ones with weapons. Any henchman that's fighting in any sort of differing fashion, other than just fisticuffs, you should use your critical strike combo moves that you've unlocked through leveling up to take them down immediately, because while you're stringing a big combo, the last thing you want to do is having to pay attention to more than just the enemies that are in your remote location to counter. Anyhow though, actually, since we've already been here, it's not really kind of a new, it's not a surprise, I guess, for the viewers, but this is the extension to the cave where we've gotten a Chronicle of Arkham and a few riddles, and if you follow that path, you will reach Dead Man's Point. Looking at this cave, since we do need like our grapple hook and everything, it seems pretty inconvenient and difficult to climb up here as just a henchman without the bat tool bat or tool belt. Even though it is inconvenient to kill yourself here, it's very convenient for Batman to glide in a very, very cool fashion to get his Batcave. There was a lot of money spent just on that door. You know, I mean, as a kid I was always jealous of all the hidden doors and rooms inside mansions, but that was crazy. Like, you couldn't even notice that there was a door. Bruce Wayne's balling out here next to an insane asylum. Incredibly cool water effect here. And other than that, we have our classic Batcave. Looks just like every other one. But why don't we follow the plot a little bit more instead of me rambling?
Dr. Young was heading up a project. It was big, lots of external funding. Here are the last notes she filed. I can't make sense of it. What does it mean?
Looks like she was experimenting on the Arkham patients. This new chemical only barely resembles the original Venom compound.
There are a number of changes that appear to amplify the strength of the drug. Multiple references to a Titan formula. Even a small amount could trigger a Venom-like transformation in the host, eliminating the need for the storage tank Bane requires.
Hang on. These notes aren't complete. The formula is missing. That must be the secret Dr. Young is hiding. If Joker gets his hands on this, he will create an army of 1,000 Banes.
My God. Is Joker crazy enough to do that? What am I saying? You've got to
So,
stop him.
we've had a very heavy story-filled episode, which I absolutely love. We've finally rescued Commissioner Gordon. We've fought our first real boss fight with a classic villain, Bane. And upon reaching the Batcave, we've found our second equipment upgrade with the Batclaw. It's pretty cool. It's gonna allow us to get many more surfaces we otherwise couldn't, and it's gonna help us obtain a lot of new collectibles. But I'll save that for next time.